But I love the scene with, this was like at the end, where with Saren, and Saren, I think there's another way that it plays out, but it could also play out where, because I think not in all playthroughs, Saren kills himself. There's another way. I think I once had another ending where Saren didn't kill himself, or he just turned into this Reaper or something like that. But when Saren like puts his gun to his head and blows his brains, and I was just like, what? Like that's where you really see that Saren was starting to like get his will back, like his sense of will back, where you're just like, Saren was being more, he was acting the way he was acting because he was being more controlled by the Reapers than himself. And he was thinking these things like he was almost sure of it. But then he starts to have these doubts where he's just like, that's it. Like, I'm out of here. Like, he just puts his gun in his head and blows his brains. But then he, like, turns into this Reaper thing. And you're just like, oh my god. Telling you, man, so many epic scenes in this game. So many epic scenes. But then Mass Effect 2, of course, has also really epic scenes as well. Mass Effect 1's DLC was, like, it didn't... Bringing Down the Sky, is that the one? The one with the meteor, I think, the Batarians. That one was pretty good, but nowhere near the DLC of Mass Effect 2. My favorite DLC is Overlord. And a lot of people are kind of like, are you serious? Because nobody ever talks about Overlord. But I loved Overlord. Oh my god, that DLC was epic. I loved that DLC so much more than Shadow Broker, so much more than Arrival. It was so good, Overlord, in my opinion. The music was perfect. It was just, and it was so emotional. I freaking cried at the end of that thing. Like, I was just like, and one of my biggest WTF moments is in that DLC, where Shepard like touches this thing or something like that, and he like starts seeing virtual reality, and I was just like, oh, I love that. I love that. Especially how your party members, there's two other party members, like run to you, like run to your help, like oh my god, they're gonna, you know, to help Shepard, and then the doors close, and they're just like, oh my god, and you're on your own, dude. Overlord was brilliant. And then of course, this is where one of my favorite characters was introduced. Arya T'Loak. Absolutely love her. I'm like in love with Arya. I love her so much. I think she's a brilliantly written character. She's so good, and I can't wait to see her in Mass Effect 3. Oh my god. This is gonna be so epic. Because I think we're gonna be able to work with her to achieve, like, you know, getting back Omega or something. And then of course the Illusive Man. Wow. Another one of my favorite characters. Not just in Mass Effect, but ever. The Illusive Man, I think, makes... But it's almost like, is he a villain? You know, like, he makes a perfect villain, but at the same time, it's almost like, is he a villain? Like, you just have to question, and that questioning, that mystery to him is what I love about him, where you're just like, I don't know what the hell he's thinking. Like, I don't know what he wants. I don't know why he wants it. I don't know if I should trust him. That type of thing is just so awesome. To be able to pull that off, that's a really good writing team right there, to be able to pull that off for a video game. To have people just guessing and like not knowing who the character is. So Mass Effect 2, I did miss a lot of Mass Effect 1, like the things that I mentioned. The combat seemed a little more smooth, but it didn't have that whole customization to it. So you were just like, damn it. And you couldn't really give your party members, or you couldn't really customize your party members' armor anymore. And I was like, damn man, are you serious? Like, I really liked to be able to customize my party's weapons and their armor, because it really gave me the power to strategize a certain scenario where you're like, okay, I'm gonna go fight these guys. I need this, and that, and you prepare your party almost like, you know, it's like a real thing. But this is just like going off default, like boom, they all look the same, and you could have, you know, if they're loyal, they have a different cost, or a different armor color or whatever. Or if you get the DLC, the different appearance packs, which I never got because I just thought that was kind of stupid. Just felt a little more practical. That's not really my favorite thing though, to go practical, because you lose that freedom. Of course, the classes were a lot more advanced in Mass Effect 2, which I really liked. They had special abilities. Like Vanguard had Charge, and the Soldier had Adrenaline Rush and that type of stuff. They didn't have that in Mass Effect 1. So the classes really stood out as unique in Mass Effect 2, so I like that more in Mass Effect 2 than in Mass Effect 1. And that's taken to the next level in Mass Effect 3. I like the story of Mass Effect 2. It wasn't as deep as Mass Effect 1, but and I don't know if it was just because, Mass Effect 1, that was an introduction. It was like, bam, it just threw you into this world and this situation where you're just like, oh my god. But in Mass Effect 2, it was like, it was already established. You all of a sudden, you died, and then all of a sudden you come back and you're just like, what the hell? I'm working for Cerberus? These are the dudes that I was fighting in Mass Effect 1. And that just made it, that added to that whole, are you Paragon or are you Renegade? How are you going to react to that? And I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool, I'm working for Cerberus, or am I working for Cerberus? That, I like that aspect to it, where it was just like, you're trying to do you're trying to get something done, and the only way of doing it is by using Cerberus on your side, because if not, then you're not going to be able to do these things. So, I like that. I like that aspect to it. And I like the way that people react to you, where they're just like, they react to you like negatively, where they're like, you work for Cerberus now, and you're always trying to like, to defend yourself, like saying, I'm not working for them, like, this is not about that, it's about something bigger, it's about the Reapers, it's about that, and trying to convince people, like, open your freaking eyes, like, are you freaking kidding me? Don't you see what's going on here? So it was that level of frustration emotionally as you playing and as Shepard that was intriguing about Mass Effect 2. But Mass Effect 2 was a lot of it, in my opinion, was like setting the stage for Mass Effect 3. That's why the story wasn't as deep as it was in Mass Effect 1, because it was kind of setting the stage. It was like, form your team and let's get strong. Are you going to do the right decisions? Are you not? Are you going to have a strong team at the end, or are you not? Are you going to take down the Collectors? Are you, kind of like setting the scene for Mass Effect 3. But, I mean, even then, it was a great game. I liked it. And it was awesome to see the return of different characters. And I think that leads me to the question that I always get asked, or the one that I've been getting asked lately because of Mass Effect 3. Should you play Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 before you play Mass Effect 3? And my answer is always definitely. I mean, if you're a PS3 user, then obviously you can't play Mass Effect 1 if you don't have access to an Xbox. If you do, play it on somebody's Xbox. But if you don't, then the best thing I could say is watch gameplay online of Mass Effect 1, or just get if you don't want to go through that, then just make sure you get the Genesis comic on the PSN. That at least allows you, it's kind of like a recap of Mass Effect 1, and it allows you, it's an interactive comic, so it allows you to make some of the major decisions from Mass Effect 1, so that they could bleed over to Mass Effect 2, and you don't have to stick with the defaults of Mass Effect 2. Because I've done the defaults in Mass Effect 2 and they suck. I don't like them. I don't like the defaults. So trust me, if you do the Genesis comic, the game Mass Effect 2 is a lot better. So I always say, if you have the ability, if you could play Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, play them both before you play Mass Effect 3. Because as much as the developers are saying, you are going to go into Mass Effect 3, and even if you haven't played any of the other games, even if you haven't played Mass Effect 1 or Mass Effect 2, you're going to be able to like understand everything, and it's made for everybody, and you could like enjoy it as just as much. Trust me what I'm saying right now. that's not entirely true. Okay, a developer, even though a developer is telling you this, of course they're going to tell you this. They want to sell the game, and that's completely understandable. They're not gonna sit there and say, no guys, if you haven't played Mass Effect 1 and 2, don't play Mass Effect 3, dude. No, just don't do it. Play Mass Effect 1 and 2 before you play Mass Effect 3, and if you don't want to, then screw you. They're not gonna do that. So that of course they're gonna say that, and to a certain extent, it's true. Yeah, they do a little recap. They're always like, you know, they do a recap. You could play Mass Effect 2 without playing Mass Effect 1. Technically, of course you can. But you're missing out on so much. On the deeper level. On like the actual, on what makes Mass Effect. On what is going to make Mass Effect 3 epic. It already looks like an awesome game. But for it to be the perfect experience, for you to really say, oh my god, this game is so awesome, you should have played Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 previously. Because if you didn't, you will not have the same feelings that you have. How? How are you? You can't. If you don't know any of these characters going into Mass Effect 3, and all you have is just a little recap, where you're just like, oh, okay, well, I guess Ashley is the, she used to be on my squad, she was a possible love interest. She's now, what is her, lieutenant commander or something like that. She's now my lieutenant commander. I guess I haven't seen her for a while, or things didn't really go well with her. Okay, I get it. Yeah, you could get it, but you don't have that connection that you had from Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, where you're just like, oh my god, you know? Like, you just don't have it. If something were to happen to one of those characters that you've grown to love since Mass Effect 1 or since Mass Effect 2, if you don't have that, if you don't know who the hell they are, and you're just like, oh, it's some Turian that's on my squad, he's pretty cool. But if you don't have the connection that you've had from Mass Effect 1 and then Mass Effect 2, and just seeing the way that they've changed and the way that you've grown to love them, because trust me, you will grow to love them so much, where you're just like, oh my god, if something were to happen to him, I'm gonna freaking cry. And what if something does happen to him? Let's say something happens to one of your squad members in Mass Effect 3. One of them gets killed, or one of them gets indoctrinated, or something like that. And you don't know who they are. It's just like, oh man, that sucks. He was cool. No. If you want that experience, that personal experience, where you're just like, oh my god. Oh my god. And you're just like, like crying, and you're just like, oh my god, they killed him, he's dead. Oh my god. Oh my... You can't have that. You can't have that if you haven't played the games. And trust me, it's gonna make it freaking worth it. If you are thinking about playing Mass Effect 3, you will like Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. You will. If you are the type of gamer that you're like, that Mass Effect 3 is captures your attention, where you're just like, oh my god, this game looks so awesome. Why wouldn't you play Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 if you could? They're amazing games. So do it. Trust me. You could play them. And maybe beat them both if you're dedicated enough, or if you have the time and all that. You could still beat them both, and then play Mass Effect 3, and trust me, you will be glad you did it. Because that's what's really going to make Mass Effect 3 epic, is what you bring, the baggage you bring from the previous games. My awesome N7 background was off. It's just a big ugly black screen right there. Who's there? What you guys didn't tell me? So that's my little tips to you. Of course, what Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 had, the ability to control the conversation to a certain extent, of course. You know, the dialogue wheel, the conversation wheel, where you get to choose what you want to say and pretty much form your Shepard's personality. Shepard's, you could be Renegade or Paragon, but Renegade is supposedly an evil Shepard, but Shepard's never really been evil. It's not like he's gonna go and work for the Reapers. Like, you know, it's not like, yeah, the Reapers are here, like, yeah, take me, guys. I've been waiting for you guys because I'm Renegade. It's not like that. It's more like, oh, hell no, you know, like, he's a mean Shepard, where he's like, I need to take down the Reapers no matter what. Now get out of my face. Whoosh. He's not evil, like, you know, like an evil Reaper dude. Paragon is just, he kind of goes by book, more like that. Where it's like, well, I have to do this, but I have to save this person first. I can't just leave them, you know, it's more like that. They took it to the next level with Mass Effect 2, and they're going to be doing that again in Mass Effect 3, where they add the interrupts, which I thought were pretty cool, but at the same time, I was always waiting for an interrupt, and I was just like, and when I said, oh my god, here it is! So sometimes I didn't really focus too much on what was being said, because I was like, what if an interrupt pops up and I didn't even notice it? Like, I always wanted to see the interrupts. So sometimes I'd be like, sometimes I wouldn't even listen to what they were saying, you know? And so interrupts are fun. They're fun. But if they weren't in the game, like in Mass Effect 1, they weren't in the game, I wouldn't really care. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I don't think there's anything else. Or maybe there is, and I'm just not thinking about it. But I just have high hopes. I mean, who doesn't? A lot of Mass Effect fans have high hopes for Mass Effect 3. Just with the stuff that we've seen. And I'm that type of fan. I mean, there are some fans that just criticize it and are like, it's not that great. I mean, it's good, but, you know, there's that type of fan. But I'm that type of fan that just, you know, they could freaking, BioWare could punch me in the face, and I'd ask for another one. Like, I'd be like, that was so cool, could you guys do it again, like, on this side right here? You know? I'm that type of fan, where I love everything that they release. When it comes to Mass Effect, or Dragon Age. Like, I don't care what it is. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Even if people say, oh my god, it's so ugly, or oh my god, it's so bad, I'm gonna get it. And I want to try it myself. Like, perfect example. Where the hell is it? What? Okay, I don't know where it is. It fell over there a little while ago. I didn't even pick it up because I was like, stay there! Mass Effect Deception, the book. Everybody was saying how horrible it was, but I still got it. And I read it. All of it. So that's the type of fan I am. And it was horrible. And I was like, oh my god. Please just, like, wipe it out. Wipe it out of my brain. Just, like, no more. But I still read it. That's the type of Mass Effect fan I am. So, of course, I'm gonna think Mass Effect 3 is gonna be the best game ever. Because it looks amazing. And I'm gonna be freaking hyperventilating when I'm playing it. But I'm so looking forward to it, and I'm trying not to think of the days. Like, I'm like, the closer it gets, I'm just like, trying not to think about it, because I'm gonna go crazy if I do. But yeah, I have huge hopes for it, and I don't think we're gonna be let down. BioWare seems to have worked hard on it. It's only better when I think about how they pushed it back, because I'm like, okay, they pushed it back, they had more time to work on it. If they had released it in the fall of last year, I would have been worried, because I'd be like, really? That big of a game? But it's good that they pushed it back. They had more time to work on it, more time to fix things. The demo was it was a rough copy. They've said it already. The graphics are going to be improved in the actual game. I don't know about the dialogue. Maybe the dialogue as well. I don't know. They're going to have maybe more options in dialogue. They're going to add, there's more scenes that were cut out of the demo, of course. But yeah, nothing really could make me say, I don't think I'm gonna... Nothing. Nothing, really. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys loved about Mass Effect 1, and what you didn't like about Mass Effect 1, or kind of, you know, what you liked about Mass Effect 2, which one you like better. Yeah, hopefully that was informative, and I guess I'll talk to you guys later.